Welcome to this week's newsletter. The smooth start to the year is being threatened by the number of students and staff we currently have absent due either to COVID infection or exposure to positive cases. At this stage, face-to-face teaching and learning has continued relatively unaffected, but we've had to put additional measures in place to ensure that this continues. You might note that I'm recording this from the front of a classroom because we're a bit short on teachers just at the minute. So I'd like to thank and acknowledge everyone for their cooperation in doing all that we can to keep face-to-face teaching going and to keep everyone in this community safe. So far this year, we've been able to run all of our scheduled events, albeit in slightly changed formats, and I hope you've had the chance to experience some of them either in person or remotely. The College Advisory Council held the first meeting of the year last week, at which new members Tim Bradley and Andrew Penton were welcomed. The meeting was also joined by our senior student leaders, who outlined their goals for the year. Student voice is an important part of our culture, and it was terrific to hear from these outstanding young men. Following the meeting, members of the Josephines, the Men's Association, the College Foundation, the Old Collegians Association, the Parents and Friends, and the Finance and Planning Committee gathered and were welcomed by incoming college chairperson, Shona Eland. Late last year, work commenced on the development of an updated strategic plan for the college. To this point, the College Advisory Council, the college leadership team, and the staff have had the opportunity for input. Students will also be asked to contribute in coming weeks. Parents are invited to a gathering, we're not sure yet whether it will be face-to-face or remote, on the evening of Tuesday, April the 5th, and that will be the opportunity for you to provide input to the strategic direction of the college. In the coming weeks, we commence the first of 10 open days, which are an opportunity for families considering enrolment at St Joseph's to visit the school and experience a normal school day. A few years ago, almost all of our Year 7 enrolments came from Catholic primary schools in the region, and there was very little capacity to offer places to students from government or independent primary schools. Next year, we expect to have the capacity to offer places to many more students from outside the Catholic primary system, and this is certainly something that fits well with our commitment to inclusivity. The St Joseph's community continues to be a beacon of hope for many both inside and outside our college community. I recently received a letter from the Edmund Rice Foundation Australia, which read as follows: "We very gratefully acknowledge receipt of $101,380 as a result of the parent contributions to the Edmund Rice Foundation. This was another outstanding result from St Joseph's parents and supporters. On behalf of the recipients of your generosity, we thank all those at St Joseph's for this contribution to the work for the struggling of the world." This donation comes directly from you when you choose to pay the $80 voluntary levy that is attached with your school fee notification, and it supports the work of the foundation in the developing world, particularly in East Africa. In addition to our ongoing commitment to St Joseph's Vocational Secondary College in Kinseka, this result speaks volumes for the generosity of our community. The importance of inclusivity in our enrolments and our support for those in need is emphasised by Pope Francis when he reminds us, "The world exists for everyone because all of us were born with the same dignity. Differences of colour, religion, talent, place of birth or residence, and so many others cannot be used to justify the privileges of some over the rights of all. As a community, we have an obligation to ensure that every person lives with dignity and has sufficient opportunities for his or her integral development." Words well worth noting from Pope Francis. Stay well, everybody.